working. He was clearly out of his wits, and I think that the stoppage was fine. Even if it went on 5 more seconds, he would have eaten a bunch of shots that didn't need to happen, and that's exactly how the fight was going. So why even prolong a fight that you know the outcome is about to be the same result as it is now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. It's a bad situation for TJ. He wanted to continue, and he could he have continued? Of course, we've seen him. When he got knocked down by Cody, and he got back up. When he got knocked down, TJ's notorious for being knocked down in his fights. He gets knocked down and then comes back to win, which is sometimes a bad game plan. If sometimes you'll get a referee like that to where you can physically still keep fighting, but
of course
they'll stop it. It's all about that word, intelligently defend. And I heard Luke Thomas talk about it really good. He's like, if I put my hand in front of my face and while you're punching, that's intelligently defending for a few seconds. Like you can, I can lay there and let you punch me and punch my hands for a few seconds, but then you got to be doing something. I thought it was a tad early, but then, and there's another, good point that I heard somebody make. I think it was Brennan. He has some good points, some good, some bad. He said, these are 125-pound men. Like if that's Alistair Overeem and Mark Hunt, stop that early. Do not let Mark Hunt punch Alistair Overeem 3 or 4 extra times in the head. Don't do that. But is Henry Cejudo really gonna brain damage TJ? Is Henry Cejudo really gonna concuss him? Probably not. I'm saying with just maybe 1 or 2 extra. I'm not saying 10 extra. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying 12 extra punches. I'm saying 3 extra punches. If he would have let Henry hit him 3 more times, I think we would have heard no bullshit, no talk, great stoppage.
Yeah, you know what? That could have been the case, but at the same time, that's not a risk that I'm really willing to take in terms of a fighter's safety when they're in the middle of a fight. I saw a lot of people compare the first fight between Cody Garbrandt and TJ Dillashaw, where TJ was knocked down and wobbled. But that was at the very end of the round. He had plenty of time to recover. We're talking about 4 extra minutes where he could have eaten a whole bunch of shots, and that was unnecessary, at least for me. And you never know how different factors come into play here. The weight cut. I know the weight cut was a big story only because, TJ has never dropped down to 125 pounds. He made it. That was a great thing. But now it's a different story once you get into the cage and you start competing. Dropping down in weight is one thing, but competing at the weight is a different thing. And a lot of people made the argument that maybe his chin didn't hold up as well as it did at 135 because he had taken away so much of himself for this fight. That could have been a good reason. And another thing would have been maybe Henry Cejudo's striking is pretty underrated. And had he landed those shots even more cleanly, TJ probably could have got concussed. You're not just, because you're a tinier guy doesn't mean you don't have the capabilities of hurting someone. You definitely do. And I think that's why the referee stepped in when he stepped in, because he saw TJ on skates. He saw him not necessarily defending himself intelligently, and there was no need for the fight to go on any longer. I know TJ popped right back up, but that only says so much, because had Henry landed maybe 2 or 3 more extra things or punches, that would have been seriously it. I had no problem with the stoppage. I know a lot of people were upset with it, but at the end of the day, TJ Dillashaw didn't really lose much. I know it was for the 125, but was he really going to go back down again and defend at 125? No, the answer is no. Everyone wants to be a double champ, and that's it, but don't want to work past that once they get the 2 belts. Then they want to relinquish one and go right back up to their home, which I think that TJ Dillashaw should be doing. You got Marlon Moraes, you got Rafael Assunção, you got Aljamain Sterling, you got Jimmy Rivera. You have a bunch of names at bantamweight that you should be focused on, not a rematch with Henry Cejudo at 135. Granted, I would love to see it, but it's just not one of my priorities right now after a 32-second knockout.
Before we get you off here, thoughts on the new belt? I like it. A lot of people hate it. Twitter hates it. Facebook hates it. People are talking shit. I like the belt. I'm one of the few. I like the new belt.
You know what's crazy? I think people were upset about it because when it was first unveiled, I was like, what is this? This is ugly. But then I realized, I said, it's something new. No one really knows what this belt was supposed to look like. And if this is the upgraded version, then sure, it's different. But it's because we're used to the old belts. We've had the old belts for so many years. And now the change is kind of like, it's not good, but it's not bad. I'm fine with the belt. And I think it looked a lot better on Saturday night. Like the first few pictures were kind of like, that's not really an upgrade. But then when you looked at it like around Henry Cejudo's waist, I'm like, you know what? The belt's fine. It's not even that ugly. I think people are just pissed because, you know, you're changing something that we're used to this new thing that we're going to get used to eventually. So I think the belt's fine. It looks good.
Yeah, it's kind of like you said, a new thing. They'll get over it eventually.
Exactly. They'll get over it. I mean, and I like the story behind it, the design, like the countries of the first few champions and stuff like that. I like the story. That's a great thing. That's a great detail to have in the new belt. And I hope more fighters get used to it.
Kristen, thank you very much. And I don't know if you've seen this on Twitter or not. Did you see the logo?
No, that's a great logo.
Yeah, I'll unplug you from the actual pill and get you in close. Yeah, it's got, I'll try not to get in the shadow. It's got the Smoke Break MMA. She painted that. She like went over it with a marker with a pen and then just filled it in with paint. Yeah, I definitely wanted to show you that. What, for free too. Wife did it for free. Well, I thank you so much for your time, and I'll definitely get you on again. I really like doing episodes with you. Definitely. Take care. God damn, that was a good episode, people. I'm sorry for the difficulties, guys. I'm going to have to do it in like 3 parts. I'm sure it'll still be fine and everybody won't care too much. But motherfuckers calling me and texting me while I'm in the... I need to figure out how to like not get messages or Twitter shit while I'm in the middle of a recording. But this is Hank with Smoke Break MMA. I'm back. I ain't going nowhere. See you guys.